The fire started here about 6 p.m. yesterday, and as you can see, a little over 12 hours later, you can still see some smoke. You can also see some flames here. I'm going to get behind the camera and give you a little bit of a better look of that here. So yeah, I'm at the corner of Union and Front Street right now in downtown Traverse City, and in just over 24 hours, there's going to be a lot of people doing exactly what I'm doing, just plopping down to their chair and watching 125 groups go by here.
The ice on the tree, the branches are very, very thick. And then as I looked right down, I'm going to show you this here on the camera. This is the parking meter right downtown. I don't know if I can get a good way to zoom in on there, but just look how much ice, how iced over this parking meter is right here.
Just around 700 square feet, this space just simply isn't cutting it. So this spring, they'll be moving into this 2,000 square foot facility equipped with their very own storefront. The solar eclipse glasses, because as you can see, you can't even really see through them when you put them on. And that's why it's important to come to places like the library where you know that your glasses are going to be legit. Yesterday, let me take you around here. This is what he took me up in yesterday. It's a Jack Lynx Extra 300L. And we went up over Traverse City to get a preview of what we can expect. Now, a lot of the controls of these ROVs are kind of designed like a video game. And not only can you control the ROV itself, but you can also control the camera. And as I approached when I first came here, there was still what looked like a little bonfire. It's kind of since cooled down, but it's definitely still smoldering coming out into the street here. There's soot down the sidewalk that's running down to the drain and gucking up down the drain. With a quick lesson on the stand-up paddleboard, and as you can see, this is my first time, and it didn't take that long to figure it out. And that's why this group has built these wipe your feet off stations, so you can simply wipe the invasive species off your boots.
It was just bad. It was just, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What Jeremy Gotauka saw was the motel he lives in going up in flames. This all started around 4 a.m. on Wednesday morning.
Heard some type of explosion, felt the vibration. I just thought it was thunder, something from outside. Heard the screaming outside.
All of a sudden, his day quickly changed, and so had the lives of the nearly 24 people living at the Green Mill Motel in Cedar Creek.
I was sleeping, all of a sudden I heard an explosion and a lady screaming. I ran outside.
Michael Stanishevsky lives on the opposite side of the motel. But once he ran outside, he saw one of the families severely injured.
Amanda, it looked like her hair, she was burnt from the top of her head. Her hair was gone on one side and her face is completely burnt. The boys were laying on the ground, not moving.
When we got on scene, we actually had 3 people outside laying in the grass.
Chief Whitehead of the Cedar Creek Fire Department says the fire was tough to put out because it found some extra fuel.
It burned the lines off, so that gas was feeding the fire. So once the fire burned away from that gas, then we were able to put it out.
The woman and the 2 children were on the north side of the building where the fire started. And while everyone else in the building was okay, their homes and belongings are not.
We've lost everything in the fire. Not one thing left. This is what I got. This is what I'll have for the rest of the day until we figure something out.
On a quiet lake out in the woods is a house about 14 miles west from Werfel Park.
I have stuff everywhere, but...
And inside that house...
You know, I can rotate bunks if I wanted to, but that's my spot right there.
A baseball player, 1,200 miles from home.
It's kind of like my little getaway. It's nice. And they treat me like a king.
Jeff W. is from Louisiana and is entering his 4th season as an outfielder with the Traverse City Beach Bums. While every season features a different team with new schedule and a new roster, for him there's always been one constant.
Yeah, yep. I've stayed here every time.
We called it the J team. It's Jeff and Jose and Jake Rowe. It's Jose Vargas.
For the past 4 years, W has lived with Jan Curtis and her husband Denny as part of the Beach Bums host program, and he's not the only one.
We've had 15 come through our house. This bunch...
Over the course of 11 seasons, 15 aspiring ball players have walked through Curtis's front door, arriving as strangers, but quickly becoming family.
There's a picture of Jeff and the trophy.
Just like Jeff did 4 years ago.
So I pull up, walk through the front door, not knowing, and she's like, "Hi, I'm Jen." I give her a big hug. She's like, "Oh, you're a hugger. We'll get along nice."
I do his laundry. I don't have to do that, but I have to do laundry, so I might as well throw his stuff in it.
No compensation.
She comes to every game.
Except the season tickets she uses every game.
We've gone to the Tigers games, but it's just, I don't know them. Where I know these kids, and it's fun to watch these kids play ball and see what they do.
And the memories that are made inside her home.
It's like having your own kids, you know, your high school kids or your college kids in the house.
That's 14 miles from Werfel Park, 1,200 miles from home.
but 0 miles from family.
They are family. They treat me like family, and they've become part of my family, you know?
In Grand Traverse County,
I don't know why anybody wouldn't do this.
Brett Kast, 7 and 4 News. As usual, it's been a cold winter in northern Michigan.
I think about them all the time, and then
But inside the home of Helmi Cortade,
it's hard.
it's been a particularly cold winter in more ways than one.
I just get real emotional because it's still pretty fresh. And
5 months ago, Cortade lost her husband Chris after a 4-year battle with cancer. With the loss of his income and the overwhelming medical bills, she found herself in a difficult situation when life threw another punch.
it was raining on the furnace and the water heater.
While her husband was sick in the hospital, Cortade had a flood in her basement that left her without heat and hot water.
It was cold. It was cold getting up for work yesterday.
All right, let's do this, guys.
But soon, that won't be a problem after Cortade's brother-in-law Dave nominated her for the Precision Plumbing and Heating Furnace Makeover.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure.
Thank you. You have no idea.
Which, as you can see, she won.
A lot of tears.
And as workers began right away to install her free, brand new, top-of-the-line furnace, there was one more surprise waiting for her in the back of the truck.
Anything you want me to do, anything you need, just...
No, but you won't have hot water for a while because we're replacing the water heater today too. So you're gonna do water heater.
We understand you had a big flood, and so we want to take care of that as well. So you'll have
New furnace and water heater.
and hot water.
To Helmi Cortade, it's not just a gift of warmth in her home,
Thank you so much.
but a gift of warmth in her heart.
Pleasure.
In Traverse City, Brett Kast, 7 and 4 News.
Yeah.